Whoa. What is up, Steph? How you doing?
Good. We have so much going on here. If you guys didn't notice, we're trying out some behind the scenes stuff too. So if you don't see us here, see us on Instagram Live. Jared Quay and Steph Otey. We're here with Cheat Sheet on Prize Picks.
I know. We're midpoint to the football season. It's already bittersweet. I'm already sad the season is almost over.
I know there was a meme I reposted earlier this week, and it was like just it was someone sobbing, and I'm like, it's already halfway through the season. I mean, we're so
I
much further ahead in college ball too. Like we're a month and a half away from the New Year's Six bowl games.
I know. And speaking of college football, before we start the show, because I'm just doing this, how do you feel about Ohio State? Midway at halftime, they were gonna lose. Everybody was like, "Whoa, Rutgers is knocking off Ohio State," and then they do what they always do. I don't know how they do it, but they come back, they win miraculously. Look at this. Look at this is when Rutgers losing. It's because this guy was gonna do this dance.
That's the
Hey,
only way that they get. Yeah. No, okay. People don't realize the Buckeyes are always a second half team. Like I don't know. It's like coach to coach. It's an annual tradition. The Buckeyes, even in those trap sleeper games, always the second half. So I think like even like if it's Rutgers, this is this is
no,
like
you.
tedious work to them. It's
I want
not
that guy to dance. Can we get that guy
nothing to do
dancing? But
about
can we just add that guy dancing for the rest of the show? He was on beat. I don't care what you say. Whatever song you put in the
unbeat,
background, that guy was
unbeat.
dancing. He was the best player on Rutgers that day. I don't know what else was going on. All right, Steph, we got to start this show. What's up,
Mhm.
everybody in the chat? How you guys doing? Welcome to Cheat Sheet. I'm your host, Jared Quay. I'll be piloting this show, but I'm not alone because I got the lovely Stephanie Otey. Ot, are you good?
I am all good. It's always great on Thursday. Always talking football. I mean, yeah, it's sad that we're so far ahead in the season, but we got lots to get into. Panthers Bears tonight, and some great matchups this weekend. You know which one I'm super excited about.
I'm excited for football, guys. Obviously, if you guys aren't aware, we did the Prize Picks World Championship round one. If you guys have got your team in, a lot of people passed. I think Trent's team has the most followers of his
Yeah.
picks. And so if he wins it all, and I think everybody who followed him gets a chance to win $2,000 with a free pick entry. So that's big, guys. Obviously, who else has moved to the next round? I think uh, Funny Marco and Drewski moved to the next round. Obviously, I think Trent's taking on Mike. And Steph, I don't know about you, but if me and you were picking, I think I would have did terrible because my fantasy team was boo boo last week. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Put your team you're rocking with in the chat, guys. I see MMG's in there, man.
Yeah.
Uh, if you're rocking with Trent, let me know. That's who I thought was going to win. If I could play, I would have did that, guys.
Well,
But
now y'all, let's give like some prayers up for Cheese. He was going to join us, but car accident. He's going to be good. So thinking of him as well, part of the Prize Picks fam. And sad he can't join us today, but very happy to hear he's doing okay.
Oh yeah, I didn't even know. I didn't know we were telling him. Yeah, guys, we were supposed to have Cheese on the show, but he obviously unfortunate incidents happened, so he's not here. But it's okay because guess what? It's me and Steph. It's us two today, and we got the chat, baby. We got the chat. So y'all chat, be active with us. I can't wait to hear from you guys. But before we get to any of that, we're not doing any of that until we get to our more or less of the week. All right, we got to recap last week with our this week's Prize Picks, more or less. Are you ready, Steph?
I am ready.
All right.
I'm not
More
sure.
or less defensive coordinators being fired.
Yeah,
Did you
we've
see
seen a lot of that. Yeah, we've seen a
US?
lot of that.
Well, USC's defense coordinator was a special case. USC's quarterback is all world. They put up like 60 points a game. The last four games, I think they average losing. They average allowing at least 50 yards a game, 50 points a game. He was out of there. But if you see some of the clips, I had a clip. We didn't put it in here. I don't know if this was the defensive coach's fault, right? It was the plays are drawn up. They're letting guys. I see Michael Penix scramble for 67 seconds and then throw a bomb at the end of the end zone. How can you coach that? Like you can't coach guys not to make tackles.
Yeah, and quite, I think it's like an issue throughout the whole Pac-12. Yeah, it's always tough to see that happen during the season. We've seen a lot of D coordinators actually go out, especially with the Bears, that mysterious exit there. But I think that like at this point, you know that they're not going to go into the conference championship. We saw Caleb Williams go up and hug his mom
And
and that,
cried.
that
He
dramatic
cried.
scene. Yes, we
Steph,
could
how
talk.
do you feel when you see? I
We
don't
could
know.
talk all day about
To
that.
me, I know we need to be in our, as men, we need to be comfortable with our feelings and expressing them. But you can't be the biggest prospect of the last 50 years
Mm,
and crying at your mama's arm because you lost to Washington. I'm sorry. Maybe call me what you want, cancel me. I don't think you should be crying. Chat, are you upset with Caleb Williams for crying after the game?
I agree
He's
with
getting
you.
millions of dollars. He's
Well,
getting millions
also
of
the
dollars.
other thing is that like, I mean, so sweet. You care about your mom, and after the game, he said he wanted to hug his dog. Yeah, I do that. I hug my dog whenever I'm sad too. But the thing is that you're still on that team. You still have more of the season to go, and you are the leader. So I get it. It's a hard moment when you realize your college career's coming up to an end, but you got to finish it out with your team, and you got to be a leader. So I get it, but stay strong for the team, and then go home and cry with your dog, but show up for the team. That's
Boom.
where I'm at.
Also, if you guys have been watching, Steph's not really a big Caleb Williams fan, so maybe you could put that in there while she's saying what she's saying. I was a fan, but I don't know, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe crying.
Did I call it or did I call it? When
I
I
hate
saw the
it.
painted nails, I knew. And then when he said, "Oh, you wish you could fit into these size 12 shoes," that's when he lost me.
Yeah,
It was
there we
this
go.
season. Last year, all right,
All
all
right.
right.
All right. Next more or less, and we're switching over to college basketball here. More or less, David versus Goliath. This is Zach Edey, obviously the 6'5" star
Yeah.
center for Iowa. Look at this jump ball. Now, I'm pretty sure this almost feels like digitally edited, but it's not. It was unfair
Oh,
100%.
how tall is he actually, though?
Well, he's 6'5". He's
Well, no, the guy he's up against, because I mean, I watch the NBA, and sometimes I remember like covering a game with Shabazz Napier, and he seemed so short, but in real life he's not. It's just every other guy is so tall. So I think next to Edie, I mean, how tall is that guy actually? Like, is he
no,
comparative to me or what?
No, he's 6'5". I think the team knew they were going to lose the jump, so they kind of put their point guard up there just to make it up. Like we're at that point of college basketball where teams are
He's
just
going to go
doing it for
viral.
entertainment. Yeah, they're like they're expected to lose by 37 points. They're like, let's have some fun and get the 5'6" guy to do the jump ball. So yeah, I don't know, Alex. Can we run that back? I just want to see it one more time because this is hilarious to me, guys.
Really is
They
David.
don't have anybody behind them. They don't have anybody behind them because they knew that he
And you
wasn't
know
going to win.
what? That's going to be that guy's like claim to college fame.
He didn't
Like
even
this
jump.
moment in particular, and he kind of stumbled on the way out. Yeah, this is what his whole collegiate career is going to be summed up to be: is the David and Goliath moment.
All right. And then my last more or less stuff, and this is just me. This is me being fed up with Gen Z. Here we are having a kid sitting courtside of the basketball game, trash talking the GOAT LeBron James as if he's just a regular guy. Listen to him.
Solid.
Come on, Rod.
Boy, I mean, obviously LeBron had. You see this?
Yes.
Could you imagine? Why is that kid talking stuff to the GOAT LeBron James as if LeBron James' resume isn't? He's been putting up buckets since that kid was born. Now, obviously, LeBron didn't have to go and put his ass in the man's face, but at the same time, you're sitting courtside. That's what comes with the tickets, baby. You're paying that much money so you can smell the musk, and that's exactly what that kid did, talking to GOAT.
Yeah, that's a good point. When that kid gets to sit courtside, he can say what he wants. I mean, kids say there's that show, Kids Say the Darnest Things. He has no idea. Like if an adult said that to LeBron James, I mean, this kid can say anything he wants and quite frankly get away with it because he's a kid. So why not do it in front of LeBron James courtside of a Lakers game?
It was, I mean, obviously those tickets are expensive, and he was like, "You sharded, LeBron." So yeah, I don't know. That's me saying Gen Z, have some manners, all right? I couldn't imagine if I was talking to Jordan. I was a kid when Jordan played. That's Gen. I don't know. Is there a new generation?
I think
Gen Z.
I mean, at his age, he might be the next. Yeah, he might be the next.
Yeah. What's after Z? Gen
Yeah.
All right.
Go back to
All right. That's it for our more or less for today, guys. As you can see us paused on LeBron's face because he's like, what the hell is happening right now? But I can tell you what's about to happen. We're getting ready to get into Steph's superlatives. All right, Steph, give it to me. I want to know for this week, who is our rocket scientist?
After this week, I couldn't get away with not giving Josh Dobbs a superlative. And you know what? NASA kind of gave it to us. They called him the passernaut. I mean, he got a nickname from NASA. I also was going to consider calling him most likely to ace a test without studying. He was traded to the Vikings 5 days prior to this game. He didn't even know anyone on offense who he was throwing to, didn't have their names, but went off 20 for 30 on passes, 158 passing yards. He also had a career honor for Vikings QB, the third one to earn the honor in the past 10 seasons. just looking at some of the things that he accomplished, I mean, he was the first player in NFL history to score 3 or more combined passing and rushing touchdowns in consecutive weeks with 2 different teams. He had a 101.8 passer rating. It was his first career player of the week, as well, as you know. And then he's just tied up with other great names like Kirk Cousins and Sam Bradford to become the 3rd Vikings quarterback to earn that honor. And Kirk Cousins obviously got it twice. This is his first one in his career. Just looking at how he performed without having any background information, there you see he's always been into rocket science when he was a kid. He has a degree in it. I mean, even NASA stepped in and called him the pass or not. For you to just go in, command the offense. I don't want to compare it to Baker Mayfield when he went with the Rams and went off on that primetime game, but this is extreme for the way that he was able to do that within, such a fast turnaround, didn't have any names on there. And coach even asked him how he felt going into the game. And he said he felt good. As you saw, like that video that went viral on social media, how the team was waiting for him and they said, let's make sure he hears it. Everyone in the locker room was just going off, so excited for him. And he barely even got there, and he rallied this team. You also see Justin Jefferson back on the practice squad now. Like, we didn't think that he would be in a rush to get back in, and now with Kirk Cousins gone, but you have a great QB and Josh Dobbs who jumped right in. You may get your first wide receiver back, and things could be on the up and up for the Vikings.
No,
I mean, what a guy to root for too. This is someone that you really want to see do well.
No, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm taking the opposite of you right there. First of all, Josh Dobbs is a weird looking person that I'm pretty sure I don't think we need to be the face of the NFL. I'm a little bit bitter because I'm a Falcons fan and he did that against my Falcons. But if we're being fair, the Falcons make every quarterback look good. If you watched the week before, Will Levis looked like he was the best quarterback of the draft. The week before that, Baker Mayfield looked like he wasn't as sorry as Baker Mayfield. They even made Sam Howell look good. I think Bryce Young had his best game of the year against them. I don't know if Josh Dobbs is great yet. We're over rushing it. Obviously, the guy looks like he's an actor writing on the paper. I'm bitter because he beat my Falcons. I'm not a fan of Dobbs. I'm telling you that right now. Falcons need to make it to the playoffs, and that guy's hurting it. All right, next permit.
All right, this is the best breakout. Keaton Mitchell rushed for 128 yards on 9 carries and a touchdown against the Seahawks. And this was after he entered week 9 with 0 career carries. Really jumping in. I mean, we know the Ravens love to run the ball. They currently lead the NFL in rushing yards per game with 160.3. They do face the Browns this week, who, as we know, have a great defense. They allow just 89.8 rushing yards per game this season. But John Harbaugh even mentioned that they have healthy backs. There's probably going to be a rotation. But the way he jumped in and just completely surged, you can expect great things from him. He's in a good place with a great running offense. He comes in there and just goes off. I mean, for him to have no career carries and just step right in to a team that's fairly well-rounded running back. I mean, they have depth. For him to come in as a rookie and just go off, props to him.
I mean, in all fairness, they have a bunch of running backs because Gus Edwards is on my fantasy team. But the Seahawks are playing. The Seahawks are playing like they had the more on every one of the running backs, and against that game, I don't know why the Seahawks just like we don't want to play football today. This is going to be our bye week. They did not come to play football. They got blown out, and it shows. And so, yeah, I do think this guy, hopefully he has a couple more games, but anybody behind the Ravens system with Lamar Jackson just is a good running back. I know, shout out to your Ohio State Buckeye, J.K. Dobbins. The guy looked like he was been poised to have MVP type season. And hopefully he's healing up and not hindering Aaron Rodgers too much in the training room. But, yeah, I'm a fan of this guy. Let's go with best player after a bye for this week.
Yeah, a couple teams had byes, and ever since the bye, CeeDee Lamb has really been going off. There were questions why he wasn't being used as much, but against the Eagles this past week, he caught 11 of 16 targets for 191 yards. His target shares after the bye, week 7, they had the bye. Week 8, he had 41% of the targets for 14, 36.3% against the Eagles in week 9 for 16. Just listen to these stats I'm about to rattle off. Highest graded wide receiver in week 9, 90.3 PFF grade. That's first in the league. First in receiving yards with 194. First with 7 catches for a first down. First in success rate among wide receivers with 40 or more receptions. And first in 20 or more yard receptions. Second in catch rate among wide receivers with 40 or more receptions. 4th in yards per reception among wide receivers, again with 40 or more receptions, and 4th in receiving yards per game. He plays the Giants coming of this week. I mean, the Eagles got the best of them. Just looking at this graphic alone, we all know CeeDee Lamb is great, but questions around him being utilized not enough. Definitely has stepped up after the bye. He's getting more looks and he's gone off. So I definitely like him in the second half of the season.
How far do you think he takes the Cowboys? Give it to me right now.
Oh, well, I know we're gonna get into it later, but I mean, I see him in playoffs, but like I'm never gonna speak on the Cowboys in the playoffs.
I mean, you don't think they make a Super Bowl? Are they gonna make a Super Bowl since what, 1995?
Not after. I mean, the 49ers are my concern in the NFC, but they bolster their defense, and I was never bought in on Brock Purdy. I know you were really hot on him at first, but I was never sold. So, but I'm not a huge Dak fan either. So I don't know. I do think it's going to be down to those two teams, but
we'll see. You're leaving it off.
We'll see. I'm going to the Super Bowl.
I'm going to say it for you. I think the Cowboys go to the
really.
Super Bowl
I mean, I'd love to see it.
Out of the NFC.
Won the Super Bowl the day I was born.
The Eagles, they really should have won that game. Obviously, CeeDee Lamb was a yard short, but I do think they should have won that game. I think that they'll get a chance in the playoffs again. If they can find a way to get a home game, I think it will work. We need the Eagles to lose. I said it. Everybody's going to hate me if they clip that and they were like, Jared Campbell says the Cowboys are winning the Super Bowl. I didn't say they were winning. I said they were going. And that's because, I mean, it adds up. It's in Vegas. That just seems like a Cowboys Super Bowl year. If the Falcons don't make it, which they won't, but my brother's on the team, then I'll go for
it. What about the Eagles?
I think the Eagles are one and done. I think. Have you been watching them? The Eagles haven't been playing great. They almost lost to the Commanders twice.
The Cowboys, though, that's the thing. They just beat the Cowboys. Like had so many close calls.
The Cowboys should have won that game.
Yeah,
that's just me. All right. Look at that. Somebody said Dak's not making it to the Super Bowl. The Cowboys are the easiest team to hate. I'm not a Cowboys fan. I'm not from Texas. I don't have one Texas tattoo on my body. I just think the Cowboys are good.
I do like the Cowboys, but I can't take them in the playoffs. They just always let you down.
Yeah. Speaking of letting you down, can we get into flag on the Quay? There was some flags I got to throw this week, guys. I got to throw some flags on the Quay. If you guys have never seen this is where I take penalties on people who deserve penalties that you can't call penalties on. Up first, my first flag on the Quay is the referee. Yes, the referee in this Jets game is blocking like Trent Williams right here. Look at that. No holding, but you see that force right there? You have to get by him before you come back and slap him. I don't know what was going on there, but ref, you can't do that. That's a flag on the Quay, 15 yards. Up next, if you watch the Manning cast, we got Arnold Schwarzenegger feeding his donkey on live TV. This is action I didn't know I needed to see. Arnold Schwarzenegger is the weirdest man alive. He smoked weed and worked out for most of his life. Then he became a star actor in the Terminator series. Then he became the governor of California. And how else would you finish off a life like that? By feeding your donkey on TV. Never mind the infidelity he had with his maid. This guy's the most interesting man on earth. And for that, I got to give a 15-yard flag on the Quay. Up next, I got to talk about how people change up, guys. This is the worst thing. Split personality. She's mad about the call. She sees she's on camera. Time to party. This is a cheat code I figured out with most women. If ever your woman's mad at you and argue with you, ask someone to take a picture of you. She'll change up in 15 seconds. You got a chance to think of your defense. Just like this. Also, shout out Pitt. They kept it close, but Florida State won. I don't like Florida State. It's all about the U. Flag on the Quay. Next up, we got to talk about coaches talking stuff, guys. Here we are. This coach is doing his discount double check to the stands because guess what? We won. That's right. If you're a coach on the team, you're not talking stuff, you're not working hard enough. I'm tired of all this sportsmanship. Flag on the Quay, which is a good one for you, coach. And my last flag on the Quay is Jim Israel is everybody in the club. Listen to this. It's not as funny, but hey. All right, cut the sound. That was Jim Israel cutting up to Meek Mill after the locker room. This is one of the club anthems, and he was getting hyped. Ironically, I don't know if he was sober or drunk. I know he has his problems, but either way, he was having fun. So we're giving a flag on the Quay to Jim Israel. I love it, guys. The coach got to win, so that's fine. That's it for flag on the Quay. Steph, any rebuttals?
No, I think you did a good job, but I still can't get over how cute that donkey was. It looked kind of fake, but it was so cute.
He just lets the donkey be in the house. Like I thought donkeys were an outside animal. You can't just have a donkey in the house.
I wonder what kind of pet they are. Are they mild? Do they Do they need a lot of attention? I mean, you know what their nickname is, so are they just like jerks?
I don't know.
Is that not a joke? Is that not
You're talking
a
about being an
joke?
ass. Oh, you got me there. Oh, booty. Look how happy he is feeding that.
Remember at the beginning of the
I've never
season
fed
when
a
we talked
donkey, but
about
look how
best
happy
dad
he is feeding
jokes?
that donkey. He is happy
Remember?
feeding that donkey.
Do you remember at the
And
beginning
that's,
of the season when we talked about best dad jokes, or the one I had about let's see if the
quarterback.
chat knows. Let's see if the chat remembers this joke that I said at the beginning of the season. What did the coach say? What okay, wait, I'm trying to remember how it goes. So
Uh-oh.
if the coach pays cash, why did he ask for cash back? Yeah, why'd the coach ask for cash back? Chat, do you know?
If you're a repeater, you'll know this answer because it
Yeah,
got me the
yeah. If
first
you were
time.
with us at the beginning, I definitely botched the delivery. I forgot it.
Okay.
Why did the coach ask for cash back? Let's see if the
Because
chat knows.
they said because he wanted to exchange. Close. I
Okay.
don't know how that fits.
How did they not know this?
You got to Google it.
Okay, I can specify. Why did the football coach ask for cash back?
Can I give the answer? Because I know it now.
Wanted to rob the store.
I think they're
No, he
trolling us. I
paid. He
think
was
the
asking
chat's
for
trolling
cash
us.
back.
Steph, knock, knock.
Who's there?
Ouch.
Ouch, what? Or ouch who? Oh,
No, you
achoo.
messed. You blew it. You blew it. All right, guys. We're done with Flag on the Quay. It's time to talk some. We don't have a commercial break today because we don't have a guest. We're gonna get right into it, guys. We got football this week, week 9. And I know you guys are asking for the picks. They like we want the picks. Obviously, without a guest, we can't really give you too many picks. We can give you some squares to look at, though. So, Steph, who should we be watching this weekend?
I mean, this was the star of the week, or I mean, even of the year so far. There's so much hype around him. You and I talked about him earlier in the week. CJ Stroud. He just went off last week. Comeback win, 470 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 71.4 completion percentage. I mean, what? I know. I'll admit it. I was not a full believer. I mean, I was completely full. Got it wrong. I thought Bryce Young was the most NFL ready quarterback. Direct opposite. CJ Stroud is, and Bryce Young is the one that's been struggling. Looking at his passing yard projection, the Bengals average 234 passing yards per game. They've allowed, in the past 3 games alone, they've allowed his projection of 248 and a half. They've allowed that in the past 3 games. He's recorded 809 passing yards. That's 269.7 per game. I think he's going to continue going. Like I'm bought in now. I mean, the questions I had around CJ Stroud were how he was in college. In these big games, I mean, I get my Buckeye bias comes into play.
Yeah, that's
You
what I was
can't
gonna
lose to
say.
Michigan. There was one team that he could never beat, and it's the big one. And that's the big stage. It's a big game. So I just kept thinking, if he can't beat the Wolverines at the Horseshoe or the Big House, he can't play in an NFL game. He can't show up, but he's fully risen to the occasion. Credit to him, and I will eat my words. I was not bought in. I thought his nerves would get to him on the big stage, and boy, was I wrong.
The chat is the few people that are active in the chat. They're not letting you cook there. They don't think that CJ Stroud's still the
You don't
one
think he's
step.
going to go more than 20?
They not letting you cook stuff. I'm saying, but give him one more ingredient.
Wow.
What's your
That is
next
surprising
ingredient?
to me. That's very surprising to me.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of bias. I ain't gonna lie
The
to you. CJ
Bengals
Stroud
have
had a good
let
game.
that projection go in the past 3 games. They let Geno Smith, Brock Purdy, and Josh Allen go on for more than 248.
Yeah, they scored out.
CJ Stroud just had 470, y'all.
Okay, there we go. They said she's burning in the kitchen. I don't know who this is, but we're gonna stop that. Give him another ingredient. Put another dish on the Steph. What other square do you think? What other squares we keeping an eye on?
So here's another one. This was not going for picks here. We can't give picks, y'all. I'm just giving you what's intriguing to me. And we're gonna stick with my Buckeye theme. This one's gonna be super exciting. The dynamic duo reunited in San Francisco. Chase Young on the D-line with Nick Bosa. This is going to be a big one. And ironically enough, Chase has faced Trevor Lawrence in college, didn't get any sacks on him though. And he didn't play when Washington played the Jags. Nick Bosa, however, had 2 on him in Trevor Lawrence's rookie season. I definitely think that the 2 of them together is going to be huge. And just looking at how Trevor Lawrence is, he's kind of been he's been underperforming to his projection as of late. He is the first quarterback to face both of these guys on the D line. The 49ers defense allows 225 and a half passing yards per game. That's doable compared to Lawrence. So I'm going to make you guys assess this one. It's intriguing because of how they bolstered their defense. It needed to get some help. But do you think Trevor Lawrence, who gets the edge in this one? I think if one team's going to completely go off, I would expect it to be the 49ers. But
all right. I can't see that. That projection is only 155. Is that passing yards or rushing yards?
I think it's that. I think that number is the number I saw was 237 and a half.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm going to say I would like more than on that. That
155. Do we have a promo on that?
I think it says rushing yards, and I was like, yeah, I think the less than. I don't know if they ain't gonna let me pick it, but 155.
Rushing yard. Okay, rushing yard. That's a gimme because that's insane.
We messed up on the graphic, guys. I don't want you guys to take.
I'm gonna check for y'all. I'm gonna check for y'all to see what Trevor Lawrence. It's 244 and a half.
Okay, 244. That's a lot.
237 and a half. So
that's a lot. They're at home against the Niners. Yeah. West Coast teams don't play as good on the East Coast, so that does play a factor. But, Steph, I think you're cooking. I like both of those. Obviously, they're not picks. They're just squares you should look at. I'm looking at them myself, all right? Mm-hmm. But can I step in the kitchen and cook, too? Can I step in the kitchen, Steph?
Yes.
All right. Now, again, all right, I like Alvin Kamara, all right? This guy, honestly, Derek Carr is scared to get hit. He keeps dumping it off. And it's not a bad decision to dump the ball off to Alvin Kamara. He's one of the best pass-catching running backs in the league. His projection is set at 35 and a half yards. He's got that like 4 of the last 4 weeks. I'm a strong believer that he's cooking, and I like what he's got going there. And the Vikings aren't really any scary defense, and they're probably going to need to score points with Joshua Dobbs scoring points because you're superlative. Up next, Will Levis, the star player. Everybody loves him. He only has a 9-yard rushing, 9.5 yards rushing projection, which everybody's like, oh, more than that's a more. I think if I was looking at it, I would look towards the less there, guys. If you look at the Titans, they don't have a lot of quarterback design runs, and when they do, they put Malik Willis in. I think this guy likes to throw the ball. He's the kind of person that either throw it away or throw it to the receiver. So maybe if there's a broken sack and he sees open grass, but 9.5 yards just seems like a lot for a guy who doesn't really get rushing attempts and at the possibility of winning, which they should win against the Bucs. The Bucs aren't very good. I think them taking a knee could take them under 9.5 yards.
The thing about Levis in this game, though, is that he goes off when you're the guy that goes in. You got all that adrenaline. Then they go on the road. Obviously, they lose to Pittsburgh. He has more rest, but I feel like we're going to get more of like an equilibrium now. He's got a longer week to recover, and the jitters of being the starter now. They've named him the guy. I think it's going to be more mellowed out.
Yeah, he's going to have a bad game. I don't mind. I don't care if they win, lose. I just think that the less than 9.5 rushing yards is just where I will keep my eyes on, all right? Up next, I got to give it to my man, Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard is he got to a rushing projection of 68.5 yards. Obviously, the Cowboys have been throwing the ball. Dak Prescott's actually been cooking. He's been doing really well. CeeDee Lamb is there. I think this is a game where they got to rely on their run. This team's backbone is the rushing yards. Tony hasn't looked great. They're missing Zeke. It looks like that. I think this is a game to get on track. Obviously, they're coming off a loss. I think if they get a lead this game, you might see them get 15 to 16 carries. Maybe that in the second half, and I just think 68 yards isn't that much. Couple big runs of 15 yards, and he's already almost there. So I'm looking towards the more than on 68.5 rushing yards. And last but not least, I got a Thursday night football. Are we doing it later? Or are we doing it now? I'm going to put it on there because it's already up there. Hayden Hurst, the tight end for the Panthers. He has a projection of 16.5 receiving yards. I think Bryce Young is a pretty good quarterback. When he's not pressured, he's actually really poised in the pocket. Hayden Hurst is a clear – tight ends are one of the young quarterbacks' biggest ones. They're going to try to put everything they can to stop Adam Thielen. Hayden Hurst is going to get a big catch. Chad, if you agree with me, throw it on there, baby. Hayden Hurst, at least he can get 2 catches for 19 yards. Don't really seem crazy. So I'm looking at the more than on Hayden Hurst. That's what I'm cooking. You tell me what it smells like, Steph.
I like it. Especially, I got some good ones for Thursday night too. To make this game interesting when it's going to be.
Hold on, we got to talk about it first. First, I mean, obviously, I think that the thing that gets put here is the Panthers really need to win this game because their first overall pick goes
The
to the
Bears need
Bears.
to win this game too.
Oh, when
But I
did
don't
you
want
become
them
a
winning
Bears
without the
fan?
quite frankly, I don't want them winning without Justin Fields. So it's fine.
No, I think that as you're a Panther team, you can't lose this game and give them a better pick. You need to win this game so that you're giving them the fourth or
Mm,
fifth overall pick. You
that's really
cannot give them the first overall pick with Caleb Williams there, and you gave them DJ Moore. I personally think if there's one game that the Panthers need to win, this is their Super Bowl. They need to beat the Bears tonight, and that's what I'm personally saying. But it's an interesting matchup. Obviously, none of these are really interesting. It's not like any of these guys are the sexy matchups. You're not going to get any Tyreek Hills or Justin Jeffersons out there. But if there was some squares to keep an eye on, Steph, and the chat wants to know, who would you keep your eye out for?
Well, for tonight, it's interesting because the Panthers have a bottom five run defense and they have a better pass defense, but the reverse is the same for the Bears, who actually have a great run defense, but are in the bottom against the pass. So I am looking at Chuba Hubbard, his rushing yards. He's had more than his projection of 43 and a half. That's what it's set at. He's only had more than that 3 times this season. And he's going up against the Bears' top defense that's allowing just 79.7 rushing yards per game. They're also top 7 in DVOA and EPA. That helps when the Bears invested at linebacker in the offseason. But the Bears allowed just 36.8 rushing yards per game to opposing running backs in their first 5 games. In their last 5 games, sorry, that's a mark that is league best. I don't think he's going to go off in this game. I don't think it's going to be a big day for Hubbard.
Steph, you eating there. I love that.
Are
That was a
are
great
they
explanation.
capable?
I don't know what the chat thinks, but I think you're eating right there. I think that's a solid one with the sound advice and understanding. Plus, he also may have to split
Not a
carries
good
with Miles
matchup for
Sanders.
him.
Yeah, and he
Uh,
might Miles Sanders might be the hot hand in this game. So yeah,
uh,
I love that. I heard that.
I also love Cole Kmet. He is, I think, like that's just one I added on. I know we don't have the graphic, but just when you have a backup quarterback, I think tight end is a good like safety net. He's had his mark for receptions is at 4 right now. He's had more than that in 6 of 8 games, and he's been targeted 8 and 10 times in the past 2 games with Bagent as quarterback. The Panthers secondary is good, but they're on a short week and they're banged up. So Cole Kmet's the one to look at. Then you can get into the quarterbacks. Bryce Young, 215 and a half passing yards. Like I said, the Bears are at the bottom 5 for against the pass with 256.9 passing yards allowed per game. Bryce Young has thrown more than his mark. What his projections at 215 and a half. He's only done that 3 times this season though. And he's thrown pick six. He threw 2 pick sixes last week. So he could have a better game in this one. But the matchup against the pass could go in his favor. The other one would be Tyson Bagent. Again, it's the reverse. Panthers have a top 5 pass defense, allowing just 178.3 yards per game in the air. And he only started 3 games this season, but has thrown more than his projection of 188 and a half in the past 2 games. So yeah, that'll be an interesting one. I mean, we haven't seen much of him, but Panthers are better against the pass. So interested to
That
see.
is this
Yeah,
his first primetime game? I think this is his first primetime game. He's going to be seen by the whole world right here, coming from a
yeah.
Division II school. It's the pressure's high. That guy got sacked 3 times by Colorado School of Mines just last December. I don't know. Again, like I said, I'm not giving any picks, but I do think the Panthers need to win this game in order to protect their draft stock. That chat wants to know how you think about Adam Thielen. Everybody likes his square. They think it's a good one to look at. He's been hot. Adam Thielen is one of the main players. I mean, this guy's been getting 11 targets a game. Last week they were bracket covered him, so he didn't have his best game. Do you think they do the same thing, Steph? Do you like Thielen?
Yeah, I think so. But I was looking at the chat, Slacking saying PrizePicks needs to go to Ohio. Absolutely. They need to go to the OHIO.
I,
I
I don't want
never
to inform you, but
want
you
to
were
point.
you were pointing the wrong way. It's like
Never
my
point.
my jersey right here.
I'm not good at that.
Uh, Yeah, I mean they've been doing a lot of the ballots been changing there. They've been like becoming a very more progressive, so they're giving a lot more things. So who knows? Maybe they will get prize picks there soon, guys. Either way, guys, I think we may have a free to play there coming up soon too, but I don't want to put all that out there just yet.
Hmm.
Steph, outside of this, let's just talk. If you literally, if there was one square that it was like, this is Steph's baby, it was Steph's baby, and it was based on just more or less than turnovers by Tyson Banyet. How do you say his name? Last name? Bennett?
Beignet, Badgett.
Badgett. See, I don't even know the guy's
That's
name.
what I thought it was. I mean, that's what I've been hearing in media. So, we'll see.
Yeah, I got you. And then, so would you say that he gives a turnover? Would you think he'd give a turnover? Is he going to get the top 5 defense?
Yeah, I would say turnover.
So you like more than? There we go, more than one. All
If
right,
it's
all right.
if it's half, then that was
Okay.
pretty juicy.
Well, that's Thursday Night Football. We're wrapping up Thursday Night Football. But before we go, we got to do one with you, Steph. And it's me versus you this time. And I know the answer. So it's you versus the chat. Can we give time for the pick is right? Do-do-do-do-do. Chat, I need you to be active here, all right? Markel72, Georgia, Florida boy. KBD underscore 248. Perry the Don. You guys are going against Steph here. You guys can have it. Don't cheat because you're on your computer. I don't want you to look this up, all right? Here we are. We're going to – it's you versus them because you've been undefeated. You've been on fire, so that's what we're doing here. I need you to tell me passing yards, all right? Sam Howell.
Sam Howell.
What do you think his projection should be?
He had back-to-back 300-yard games, but before that, he had, I think, back-to-back of under 250. So who are they playing?
They're playing against Seattle, the team that just got blown out by the Ravens.
Yeah, but they're like mediocre against
Don't cheat. Don't look at the chat. Don't look at the chat. You gotta give your own answers. It's you versus the chat, Steph. It's you versus the chat.
I'm gonna do hands up, okay? I feel like since he had back-to-back 300s and then prior to that back-to-back under 250s, I want to say 250.
250. All right, I'll pull it out of you.
Less than that, though.
Well, I mean, you're just picking a number, right? We're not giving anything.
I have no one to play.
You're going against the chat. Yeah, you're going against the chat. The chat. I'm gonna give an average of the chat. Right now, they got a.
Chat.
Okay, so your Steph is a 250. You said.
But if they're saying 230, I guess it doesn't matter. Well,
don't cheat. Don't cheat, Steph. Give it to me, baby. Give it to me.
I have my hands up. I want to say 250, but if they're going so much less, I'll go 240.
All right. So the chat's average is 230.
230.
Yours is 240.
240.
And the correct answer is 257 and a half. I'm sorry. Steph beating the chat. She's undefeated, guys.
Really
She's the GOAT. She's the GOAT of the projection picks, guys. You guys can't beat her, but we got 2 more chances, chat, for you to try to beat her. Please don't cheat.
I'm always closer when it's my gut, though. I
know. That's why I wanted you. You take forever to give me the picks. And I'm like, you know this, Steph. Just say it. Just say what comes to mind. It's almost like intuition. You don't need
answer. I got to think it out loud. Okay.
All right, let's go. All right, up next we got your boy Jordan Love. Is that a picture of Jordan Love? That's not Jordan Love's picture. Are we trolling?
Right.
That's Alex. That's Alex. What's it called? They got me there.
I thought you were
Aiden Connell.
Alex.
It's Aiden Connell. It's Aiden Connell, not Jordan Love, guys. Aiden Connell, we want to know his player projection for Aiden.
I thought you said our producer used just like his school picture for square. How many yards do we think Alex is gonna go? I will say
Aiden Connell. It's not Jordan Love. I was like, that's not Jordan Love.
Okay, and who are they playing? Does it say who they're playing?
They are playing against the New York Jets, one of the best defenses in the game. Sauce Gardner, famous and lockdown over there.
People haven't been going more than 200 against the Jets. They're like third against the pass. I definitely want to go less than 200 for honestly any Aiden O'Connell game. But since it's the Jets, I'm gonna go. Are you gonna? Do I have to go first?
You going first? Yeah, I can't let the chat go first. They can't talk.
I'm okay. So I would say 190.
You going 190?
Go lower, then I want to go lower.
You can't cheat. You got to just pick it and rock with it. You can't cheat. You can't cheat.
I'll say 185.
All right, 185. 185 for Steph. Chat, give me what you got. Chat's got 175, 185, less than 225. When did Jordan Love turn white? Sorry, guys, it's not Jordan Love. It's us. Aiden O'Connell going against the Jets. 201, 175, 221.
Yeah,
We're gonna go with we're gonna go with an average of 193 there. Okay, 193.
And mine's
And the answer is 209. So you actually are down. So this one is going to come to the Josh Allen square. Chat gets 1 point. Steph has 1 point. We're going down to the last one.
I'm lowballing it, I think. I'm lowballing this.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, you're against the Jets, but I think this team's going to be down. So he's got to throw it. He got Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams, the team looked like they were having fun after losing. They were smoking cigars in the locker room. I'm for them. I hope they beat the Jets, just because I want to see something crazy. Robert Saleh is a unique guy after losses. All right, we got Josh Allen. Josh Allen going against the Denver Broncos. Steph, this is for your undefeated streak. You got to beat the chat here.
I need.
What do you think the passing projection is?
Okay, so I'm gonna talk it out. My gut starts at 250. He's had a few like 2 or 3 games with more than 300, but it's the Broncos who are at the bottom against the pass.
They got Patrick Surtain.
The Broncos.
They do got Patrick Surtain.
Isn't this like a primetime game too?
Yeah.
Sunday or Monday? Okay, so I started at 250. I'm gonna up it to 270, 265. We'll say 265.
265. There we go. All right, chat. What do you guys got?
I want to do more, but I'll stick at it.
You got to stick with it, Steph. You got to stick with what you got.
268. I'm going to meet in the middle. 268.
All right. 268, Steph's final answer. Chat, you got to give me more so I can get an average. It's kind of confusing because it's also O'Connell's number. All right. So it looks like we're going to round the chat up to 270. 270 for the chat. 268 for Steph, which makes Steph now, unfortunately, still undefeated. Steph, that was crazy. Yeah, you had it on the dot. I was like, no,
what's his number?
His number is 265 and a half.
Wow.
The chat went 270. You said that, and you backed off and went 168. I told you to stick with your gut. I told you to stick with the intuition.
Well, the first 2 definitely seem high for them, but I think the Josh Allen one's like kind of spot on.
Well, no, you've been amazing at this. This is like 5 straight weeks of you just being winning
in this. I look at guys' numbers
I'm at this point,
long. All I do
is
look at stats and players' stats all week. So
you might need to set the projections. We need to talk to the team and see if they can help you, let you come in there.
I don't need to set them. I just look at them all week long. That it's what I see every day.
Definitely. The chat is giving you congratulations. They're being good sports. There are no flags on the play.
I thought, because they said 270 and I started at 265 and I'm like, I kind of wanted to go 270.
Mm-hmm.
I see it happened again. I should have stuck with my gut.
Definitely.
My gut.
Well, Steph, we made it through with no guests. I think this was pretty fun. The chat, you stepped up as a guest. Shout out to Markel, Georgia, Florida boy. ASVPKENO. I'm just going to spell it out because I can't pronounce that. KDB_248. No Drewski today. No LaRuski on the chat. I hope the Falcons win.
Should I submit Jared next week?
Submit me in what way? I'm confused.
Submit you to do the pick is right.
Oh, come on. I ain't no good at that.
It's easy when you look at their projections all week long. Like it's what my like full-time job.
I want to see you on prices right now. I think you got the juice. You do got the juice.
The prices
but guys,
like grocery store items. I used Instacart.
There we go. Oh, look at you. Fancy. I go to the grocery store like the old-fashioned way, like they did before the internet, pushing carts around. I shop at Target too.
It's just too much, especially like bringing them in. Are you willing to do a second trip, or do you have to bring every single bag in on the first one?
That's interesting. I don't think I ever buy that many groceries. I don't cook.
It's all right.
We got a game.
After
we got to get.
We
gotta let these kids. We gotta let this chat get in there and go make some projections. You guys go in there and green out this weekend, guys. We had no guests. We made it through, Steph. You were amazing. Obviously, I love the squares to look at, you guys. If you got winning picks, I want you guys to tweet them at me at Jared Quay. You can tweet them at Steph. Maybe we'll shout you out. Any bad beats, send me. I'm trying to do a new segment about bad beats. So if you get 5 out of 6 right or 4 out of 5 right, and there's one that's crazy, send them to me at Jared Quay, guys. I hope you guys green out either way. Thank you guys for joining us for Cheat Sheet. We'll see you next week.